So what happens is you end up holding their food, and you hold their food, and they're drug saturate, and they're training their asses off, and their progressive overload is going up, and then all of a sudden the scale starts to come down a little bit, and they start tightening up like crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you give him more food, and his weight doesn't even really move. You know what I mean? Like he's at
Yep.
that point in his off season, which is
It's
like a
good.
really fucking fun point of an off
He just
season.
keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, he's just executing like a motherfucker. So, and his appetite's still good. So it's like we couldn't have him in a better spot.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So amazing what happens when you listen, right?
Dude, it's like this shit is the most fucking fun when you're coaching people
Yeah,
like that.
when they're
When they're
listening, it's the best. It's the
when they're
fucking
listening
best.
and when they're fucking training their dicks off. Like, you follow the plan, you train your dick off, you're gonna grow like a motherfucker. It's basic stuff at the end of the day. Basic stuff, basic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to tell that story about the the chick that competed last weekend. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, let's jump into these questions. I got some good ones
Me
actually.
too. Now just have to find a protocol for dick size. He's a yeah. Good luck there, buddy. It's so funny. It's so I love.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, it's
He's such a
awesome.
homie.
Where does he live? Where do you live, Louis?
PA.
In PA? Like out there in PA or like somewhere in PA, like close to me?
I think he's near like Bethlehem area, I believe. I could be crazy on
I
that.
was gonna say, dude, if he's like an hour from me or whatnot, I'll invite him to the fucking new shed, bro. Come train. I don't know where the fuck's
Mechanicsburg. Oh
that is.
yeah, I know
How far
exactly
is
where
that
that
from
is.
South Jersey, bro? Oh, Central. That motherfucker's
Central.
yeah, he's
So what
out
is
there.
that like? Is that like Lancaster? Is that central or
No,
further west?
he's past like he's probably oh yeah, dude. He's like 5 hours.
Harrisburg,
He's
right.
five
That's what I
hours
thought.
deep.
Harrisburg, I remember that. Dude, I used to go to Harrisburg all the fucking time for work. It was miserable for a Rite Aid.
What's up, Jason? How are you, bud?
So, Jason, all right, let's actually kick off with Louis' question. If you could be any fictional character, who would you be?
Michael Myers. Just the mood I fucking been in the last like month,
Holy
dude.
shit, I wasn't expecting that.
Last like
Uh,
month, dude. My tolerance, dude, my patience meter is like, and I'm usually a very patient person, but like
yeah, you've just had a lot of bullshit lately for sure.
it's just like it's just kicking down between like the contract with the home gym, like just the shit that like people bring me. It's just but no, that was a quick answer too, but I don't
That
know,
was a
man.
very fast answer. Like, you're like right at the tip of the tongue
My
there.
head went right to violence. I don't know, man. Thanos sounds pretty good. Fictional
Really
character.
picking some great ones over here, bro.
Yeah, it's just a serial killer and a fucking top
And then
villain.
somebody eliminates
The
50% of
world.
the
Yeah.
universe's population. Fucking Christ, bro.
Should I pick a more positive person?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with.
All right, that's
Not
fair.
something, it's not somebody a million times worse than fucking Michael Myers, who has a vendetta against his family, right?
Uh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's fair.
Guy's
Uh,
vindicated.
I feel the same. Jason said I feel the same way. What's going on with you, Jason? Just no, Jason's probably school and work. Um,
If I could be any fictional character, I would definitely be Gandalf with his sword and staff,
I was
for
gonna say
sure.
Leonidas.
That would be cool.
That'd be badass.
Well, is he technically fictional? No, he's
I mean,
not.
do we really know if it happened? I don't know. Infinity War. Yeah, see, Louis agrees with me. He'd be fucking Thanos too, just wrecking shit.
Okay. Proudest moment in bodybuilding or coaching. And for me, besides becoming pro, they wrote the question. So, what's your favorite moment in your bodybuilding or coaching?
Coaching would probably be when we were there when you turned pro.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty fucking epic.
Dude, I was shaking. Shit was awesome.
I remember, man, that was a
That
good
sh
time.
that shit was awesome. And
Those
then
for those who don't know the story, when I turned pro in 2023, Steve and I worked together. He coached me. We were originally going to do Universe, so we started our prep at like 16 weeks out, which is like pretty common for me, even on the safe side, because I get in shape pretty quick, but we already knew this. This was our second prep together and third show. And we decided to jump the gun and pull the trigger on fucking junior nationals when we were like 3 or 4 weeks out,
20
which brought
days.
right, yeah, which like pulled the date back like 2 or 3 weeks. So we like fucking stepped on it like a motherfucker. And it was cool because we like game planned it when I was at his house because I came to see him in his kitchen. And then we went like businessmen, just me and him for a quick 2 day trip. Went down there, secured the pro card, and just went home. It's fucking epic, epic. It
Shit
felt
was
like
awesome.
rock. It felt like Rocky Four when I was training.
Yeah, shit was awesome.
Once
Uh,
we once we agreed on that junior nationals, I was like, oh fuck, it's on.
And I told you were gonna win.
Yeah, dude, and that was a very fucking flat out win with the
Oh yeah.
class.
Yeah, they were like, whatever your number was, you were right to the middle.
Yeah, that was
It was a
great.
good time.
I can't wait to have that feeling again in the pro league.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that was a good time. Definitely my favorite coaching moment, and probably will remain up there. I really don't foresee much topping that.
Yeah,
It,
well,
because
it's
like
tough.
it's different when like it's with you do that with somebody where like you're as close, you know, it's like
Of course.
it's very hard to top.
Yep, I agree. There's definitely a sentimental thing about that one for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Um, for me, yeah, I mean my guy Ryan here. He said besides turning pro because that was probably my favorite thing too.
Right.
Um, uh, Probably Gavin's overall because it was in our backyard, right? Well, I was really humbled when he came to work with me because I was still kind of just getting my feet wet in terms of the number of athletes that I worked with. But like, I'd already put a handful of really quality people out there on stage, like very, very peaked, shredded, all that. But I just kind of wasn't expecting it. Like and he came to me and like had some thyroid, some anemia things we needed to figure out. And like once we got it figured out, he just fucking recomped like a motherfucker and he put on muscle like crazy. And just being able to have a really good, successful growth phase with him, like getting him healthy, great growth phase, and then getting him a win in his backyard, like that was fucking dope. It was a really cool journey and just, the start of a
Yeah, I
longer one.
remember after prejudging, you're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, dude, he's definitely winning the overall.
Yeah, looking back at pictures, I was just like being the
I know, and that's why I was
you
just
don't want
kept
to count
telling
your
you guys
chickens
that you were
type
gonna
guy,
win.
but yeah, like looking at the pictures, the guy that got second to him, Brandon Mortati, he's a really good bodybuilder. He's a young guy, man. Like he's consistently brings it. His coach is his uncle, fucking oh god, his name just
Grandma.
slipped my mind. No, he's like old school fucking Long Island guy, but or if I remember, I'll tell you, but like getting the right type of guidance, like even if it's more old school stuff, like Alessandro Stavi, he even if it's old school type of stuff, he knows that how to get the guy in shape because he's
Yep,
coming in shape, like he looks good, he's got muscle, great shape. But yeah, no, I gave that kid some encouraging words for
it's
sure.
good, man.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, awesome.
Question: how many competitors do we have at Atlantic States?
I don't think I have any.
Now, you guys are doing Garden States and South Jersey, right?
Yeah, Matt and Tyler are doing South Jersey, and then Brandon and Jackie are doing Garden States, and then all four of them and Scott's doing Garden States, I think too. We're showing Maryland a week later, and then closer to him, and then all five are doing, and possibly David, hopefully, Universe.
Right.
I wanted them. I didn't want Matt to win Atlantic States again, right? I think I talked to you about that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
However, Brandon, I don't want him to win Garden States again either, but there's not a show a week before. It's only 2 weeks before. And there was last year and it's just not there anymore. So um it is what it is, you know. Um but yeah, I wanted at least somebody at Atlantic States, but not this year.
Yeah. I have 5 people. I have Nick Nappy, Pete, Michelle, Charity, and Janine.
Yep. I had a yeah, which all look they all look great. Janine, dude, Janine looks fucking killer.
Dude, I'm so happy with how she's coming along.
Insane, dude. It's of
I'm gonna have her tighter for Universe, right? We're
course,
gonna have
right.
a whole nother month of dieting. Um, she's changing like fucking
I know.
daily.
I can see the
Because
difference in
like
the
we just
face.
implemented some new variables here right at the end of prep, and just dude changing so quick. It's crazy.
Yeah. I had two questions that I'm just not gonna answer. I just want to put it out there about like a couple clients like drugs. One was the kid Tyler and the other one with Jackie, and just for their own privacy, I'm just not gonna even touch on it. So like I don't know if whoever asked is on here, but I'm just not. It's just, I mean, I'm not gonna do that to them.
They asked about somebody's cycle specifically.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
I had actually like a couple of that kid Tyler's like, but he's young, dude. He's 19. So like I had a couple of his buddies just follow me, and two of them asked on the box that we put up, and I messaged them and I was like, "Hey, I know you guys are young, but like just out of respect for him, like if he wants to tell you, that's fine, but I'm not gonna go just publicly put like it's just not right.
Yeah, yeah, totally
I'm not,
agree.
and that's not my place. So, um, I'm just not going to do that to either one. Somebody asked me about Jackie too. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, stupid. Got a couple of questions here. Or Gavin was the one who told Louis to reach out. Dude, Gavin has helped build my client base so much. I can't even tell you. I'm very grateful for him. He's a good man. It's Coach Bell asked, "What's posing sessions like, Matt? Like if you want to send out like a summary of how I go about it, um, I'll get a sense of your maturity level, right? Like let me know what you're working with, if you've done any other posing in the past, or if you're fresh. And if you do have some maturity, let me know what you think you're struggling with. Either way, I'm going to take a look at all your mandatories, take some pictures, whether that's virtual or in person, right? Then we'll go through each pose. I'm going to tweak each pose, take pictures before and after, and show you what I think we should be doing better here, and give you cues for all of it. So that's effectively what my posing looks like. It's very straightforward, broken down into effectively three segments. And if we what time we have left is for reinforcement and rounds for conditioning. All right. Okay, next question. I don't want to talk right now, so I'm gonna hold for that question. Least favorite thing old school bodybuilders still implement during prep. So
Least,
common yeah, yeah, things we don't like old school shit that people still do.
fuck. Um,
I would say one of mine is really high stairmaster.
I was, I was gonna say that, and I was also gonna say that a lot of the old schools still think you should be injecting shit like once or twice a week.
Once or twice. Oh, that's fucking crazy.
Well, so think about it, right? You go to a doctor, they're like HRT, it's once or twice a
Oh
week. It
yeah,
makes no
yeah.
fucking sense, right? But like that's what the old school methods also were with bodybuilding. It was like every other day, like that shit's dead. That shit is dead.
Yeah.
Microdosing is like there's plenty of science to back it up, But that would be it. And then yeah, that you need 2 hours of a stairmaster a day.
Yeah, yeah, man. The Stairmaster was so overdone back in the day,
I
and
mean,
a lot of people still
I mean,
do it.
both of us. I got plenty of people in fucking shape with the treadmill.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, why you shouldn't screw up your reverse?
I mean, fuck your health up big time. Your kidney levels, your lipids. That's just from like an immediate health perspective, but also too, you're just, you're already coming out of a calorie deficit, right? It's a very hard one to get into that shape, right? So for your body. So if you like a first week or two after the show are up 20 pounds and a ton of water, there's not much wiggle room for your coach to lower your food anymore. So at that point, you got to start to reverse your food up regardless. And you're just going to keep gaining weight on top of that bullshit weight you just put on. So essentially, now you're just going into the rest of a reverse period of time and into the start of your off season, pretty much already way behind the eight ball in terms of now you're not as lean as you should have been going into it. Your food's not going to be as high as it needs to. So it's just not ideal. And then your health can get all fucked up too.
Steve, do you want to answer Matt Seta's question?
We'll talk in private, Matt.
He owes
I,
you a message
I,
now.
I, I will say this, right? Um, and I think it's warranted. I'm going to compete. I will compete next year, but there will be very few that know what I'm doing. Um, because number one, I every time I've competed in the past, especially like my last like few shows, there was a lot of self pressure because there was so I knew so many people were coming to the shows, right? And I just with the kids now and like the clients and how busy we are, I just don't want to have that self pressure. That's number one. But number two is I just don't want clients to know I'm in prep. Very few will. You know what I mean? Because we both of us have seen like where like clients literally have left coaches knowing they're like competing. Right? So like they just like they think they're getting less attention. So I want it to be one of those things where like clients have no idea that I'm even in prep. So nobody can say like I think he's giving you know what I mean? Because it's not going to be the case. Work comes first, clients come first, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Like, we don't miss a beat. I haven't had any client check-ins I didn't finish in a
no,
day. There
of
might be
course not.
times, like, look, if you're in prep, you're getting a response from me within a couple hours, right?
100%.
But um, there might be times where like my days get away from me, may not even necessarily be because of prep, it's because I'm a human being,
Right.
right? So if I'm getting back to your check-in and it's 9, 10 p.m., like, hey, do you know how many coaches would have let that go to tomorrow? Like, I do this because I love it. I take it very seriously that you're paying me to do this for you, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I think in instances when clients get upset because of that, I think, and they're thinking they're blaming it on prep. It's like, no, like I am a human being. Like this has nothing to do with prep. I can easily manage a prep. I mean, I'm an adult. Like I used to manage a career while I coached people and while I prepped. I think that's just like spoiled behavior, right? They're just used to how good we are and with response time, but then boom, couple hours, like everybody's got a response. Um,
The
most you're ever going to go for me is, and this is if you send your check in like right before the deadline, is 5, 6 hours because I have kids that I have to take care of. I have my own training I have to do. Like, again, I'm a human. So we have very adequate responses to clients and often will respond on weekends and shit when we really should be, sitting there taking
Yeah,
care of our
I mean, my
families.
last prep, nobody ever missed a beat. Like I didn't miss a beat at all. I was doing check-ins fucking a day out in the
Yeah.
hotel room. So, but also too, it's just like after so many years starting a family and all, and like with coaching, I just kind of want to show up, dude. And people be like, oh, you know, okay, I'm back to competing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But also just don't want to be asked a lot of questions, like how you feeling this, that. So,
Yeah,
but
I get it.
Matt will be doing my training and Johnny will be prepping me. So it's about
Yes, sir.
all I shall divulge. But Matt, if you message me, we'll talk.
Louis says I've gotten feedback like 4 days post check-in before. Yeah, I see exactly. Um, I feel like there's even more of a reason to have them as a coach. Appreciate you, Jason. Okay, how to overcome a mental hump while having an injury.
Oh God, don't we know all about
We're
that?
experts. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
experts at
fuck,
that, man.
fuck.
Now you got it.
Um,
So yeah, I'll describe my bicep tear, right? So I'm 16 weeks out of New York Pro. I'm just coming out of a year and a half off season from when I turned pro. Fucking ripping it, like just starting to look good. Fucking tear my bicep, right? How do you think I felt at that moment? Like, dude,
like
I was, I
shit.
was,
What
I
the
was
fuck?
like, yeah, I was like, I'm fucking crushed for like, I'm not kidding you, 2 minutes. And I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna attack the recovery from every angle I can, and I'm gonna just go back on stage as soon as I can. Competed 20 weeks later. That's how you have to attack it. Like you gotta just have a fucking you need to take the ferocity that you were gonna put into your prep and put that into your recovery. Literally. I looked up everything. I did research on all this right supplements I should be taking, right peptides. I bought the highest pharmaceutical grade peptides I could get. I went to I super highly recommended PT as many times per week that I could. Like I did all of the shit, right? And that's what got me through it so quick. And now never had a job competed 3 times since. In with pro judges, right? Not one of them has said anything about my arms. Them my last year they said they were small, but this year they no small. So we
No.
definitely put on size on my arms for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you just gotta attack it just like you were attacking your prep, and you're gonna feel good about it too. Like when I was making progress, and Steve was gonna attest to this too at his knee. Um, when I was making progress, I'm like fucking pumped, you know? It's like PRing because you know you're getting that much closer to being able to fucking train again.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, for my quad, like I would have already been back on stage after all these years if I never, as you know, tore my
For
quad,
sure.
without a doubt. But I remember like when it first happened, it was the same thing like Matt described. I just took a step and my quad tendon literally just ruptured. It was like crazy, and I remember just like being on the grass and being like, "What the fuck just happened?" Like something exploded. And I remember like just kind of being like all my feelings for, a couple days. And that was a Saturday. And then at Monday I went to the doctor. He was like, "Hey, like it's either your ACL or your quad tendon." And he was like, "I'm positive it's your quad tendon because you literally can't do a leg extension." Like I could not, my leg was detached in half. And I went and they put me in the MRI and I was in surgery 2 days later. So like those 2 days were pretty rough. And then after that, I remember I spoke, I think it was to you and then to my dad, and you both kind of like said the same thing without like saying much. It was just like, what are you gonna do? Like, and I think like the mindset of all the preps in the past helped that. And it's just like, what are you gonna do? Just attack every day, one day at a time. And as long as you have the most positive mindset you can have in a shitty situation like that, you're going to improve. And mentally, I every day I woke up, I was like, I'm going to get 2 days ahead today. Today's not going to be one day ahead; it's going to be 2 days ahead, and eventually it pays off. But I feel like too that there's a lot of lessons to be learned in things like that, right? Like we always talk about how like you don't really get better when things are smooth sailing. You always get better when you're going through just tough fucking shit. When you ask somebody like what made you a better person, or what made you have thicker skin, or this and that, like how many times does somebody fucking tell you, "Oh, it was when I got married," or it was when like everything was going great. It's always like the tough shit, right? So you just gotta one day at a time and you get better. It'll heal. It'll suck, but it'll heal. But yeah.
Yep. All right. Summer plans.
Summer plans, fuck dude, I'm about to have two more kids. Fuck.
I got nothing for you.
That's my summer plans are just keep prepping people that are competing, have my two my two new additions, and fucking stay out of the heat.
You know, anything extravagant. I'll be ending my season right in the beginning of the summer, in the middle of June. Other than that, just trying to enjoy the pool as much as possible. I would love to go on vacation, but that's not going to be feasible, unfortunately. But
Yeah, we don't really live crazy lives. We're not very
yeah,
exciting individuals.
I mean, you know, when you got kids and everything, it's not like
I
we could just pick up and go fucking to wherever the fuck we want to go.
yeah,
Because
no,
I'll
no.
tell you what, like that's totally what I would like. If I'm not saying I don't want my kids. I love my kids. But if I didn't have kids right now, like work for myself, Sam doesn't work. Like, you think I'm spending all winter in New York? Absolutely not. You know,
No.
I'm fucking gonna go rent somewhere and, stay somewhere in the South for like 6 months. I don't know.
Honestly, dude, if I didn't have the kids, I'd probably have like a 800 square foot like one bedroom spot in like the mountain in like Montana, just overlooking like a fucking empty pit of just land. And I
That'd be
would just
sick.
go out there like a week, like 2 weeks a month. I would just go back and forth and just chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be
Eh,
dope.
I'd be like with goats and fucking llamas and horses and shit and just be chilling.
Yeah. All right,
But
this is my last question, and I saved it because I really just didn't feel like talking
it's
all
fair.
about me. But post New York thoughts. So I was very encouraged with the feedback that I received from the judges. Obviously, nobody wants to get last place, right? That fucking blows. But I was very happy with my look. Obviously, I could have been fuller for sure. I mean, I was given that feedback by all the judges. Seeing the pictures, I agree, but that's okay. Like this happens, right? It's not like that wasn't like super flat. That's the thing. I've seen myself flat, and I definitely wasn't flat. We just needed to push a little bit more food. I think Justin did a great job. And I would be honest, like if I felt like he missed or something, like no, not at all. I think he did a really good job. He's a very like low risk, basic stuff kind of guy across the board, including like a peak, and I think that's the right way to go. And just need a little bit more food. I eat a lot, right? Like I need a lot of fucking food. Steve could attest to this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to gauge, because you gotta worry about water retention and can his gut handle it because he can't vacuum and like that. If I can't vacuum, I'm going to outplace things, shit like this. But anyway, I'm going on. Really good feedback from the judges, like encouraging feedback. Just need to come in fuller for Legion, like a tad bit crisper, if that. But yeah, just gonna basically feed harder after I got a little bit tighter, I would say. But that's really it. I feel good about it, man. So yeah, that's where my head's at, post New York. Appreciate the
It,
question.
it was cool to see me matches as close as we are on stage again. Last time I got to see him was when he turned pro. So anytime somebody as close as Matt is to me is close on stage, especially competing and doing, what we love to do, it was cool to see just from the opposite side.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck came up to me in the lobby. Remember I told you? I don't think it was one of your clients. But like I remember somebody, I don't know, they knew who we were and they were like, "How's Matt looking?" I was like, "Oh, he looks great." And they were like, "You got pictures?" And I remember I was like, "I do, but not for you." And
Oh,
Matt felt
oh, oh, oh,
Matt
yeah,
felt I
yeah.
don't know who the fuck it was. I kind of felt like a dick afterward, but I was also like I don't know, maybe like introduce yourself, like
Sure, yeah, be a human being,
didn't
dude.
say
Like,
anything, bro. And Matt and Angelo were behind me. It was when we were getting our bands, and they came up and like he tapped me on the shoulder. And I hate when people touch me that I don't know. Like I don't know why. It's always like kind of skeeves me out. Very weird, I know. But anyway, he like tapped me, and I turned around, I thought it was Matt, and Matt was like, "Oh, it's this guy," and you could tell like we had no fucking clue who it was. He was like, "Steve," he was like, "How's Matt looking?" And I was like, "He looks great." And he was like, "You got any pictures?" And the first thought, I don't know why, so the first thing that popped to my mind was just like, "I do, but they're definitely not for you to see." And he just like walked away.
oh
I
my God. I wonder if it was one of my clients or something. I
it,
don't
it
know.
wasn't. It definitely
Yeah,
wasn't, bro. It
interesting.
definitely fucking. I'd never seen this person before.
That's funny.
This guy had like blonde hair down to here, and he was like I mean, I'm short, but he was like over 6 foot, bro. And he did not look young. He was probably in his 30s or 40s. Maybe it's like someone who sees you at the gym or something, or just follows you. I don't fucking know. But it was Matt and Angela were cracking up. They were like, Angela's like, "You know him?" I'm like, "I have not a fucking clue."
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. Like there were so many people there that knew me. Like I had no idea we're going to go
Yeah.
spectate. So like on top of like you guys, like my people, my posse, it was pretty fucking loud there.
It was very loud.
It was humbling. I'm not gonna lie,
It's
just
good though,
but
dude.
it's because like being local, that's why. But it's like a luxury that you have getting to compete at a local show.
Fuck yeah.
It was cool. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun that day for
Yeah.
sure. That's the end of my
Uh,
questions.
I had a fertility question, right? It just asked like when we had our kids, like what were we taking? Um, so you want to go first? Or you want me?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what we were doing. We were doing something like, I don't know, like 1,000 micrograms HCG like 3 times a week. And when she's ovulating, you're doing like fucking 3,000 every couple of days, some shit like that. I don't remember the specifics, but it was a relatively high dose of HCG. And that did the job really quick for me. It was about a month of that, and I was able to get my wife pregnant. That was my second. The first one I wasn't on anything.
Right. Yeah, with my almost 4 year old, I was taking HCG. I don't remember the exact amounts. I was taking HCG, HMG, Clomid, we had my I got a sperm analysis. We had my test at like I had my test at like 100 a week, down from like HRT, like 175 or 200, something like that. And then after like 12 weeks of getting my sperm rechecked, it only went up a little. So then I cut my test out and I felt like absolute complete dog shit. But that did the job. And then Nina got pregnant like a month later. And I stayed on everything until 6 months, where she was 8 weeks pregnant. We saw the heartbeat because I was like at the, terrified, you know? And then after that, I didn't really go back to like cycling, as you know, and then the next year my wife just got pregnant. I was on 200 tests, and then I blew my quad tendon out. She was pregnant with my second, so I was just on 200 tests with my second, and and then with the twins now, I was on I think 750 tests and Masteron and a little bit of MPP, and she just got pregnant, and it's with two. I don't know how, but something worked.
Yeah, man, you're a fucking bull.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah. So, actually, Nina just texted me, said it's supposed to fucking storm here. Fucking hope not, dude.
We actually had like a downpour before, but it's not. Well, I don't think it's gone now. It's
It
weird.
says it says moderate to heavy rain, like severe thunderstorm. Let me see. You know
Uh,
how
what?
when you guys had kids, did you still up dosages higher? Did you keep it on the lower side? Um, so we just kind of talked about that.
I think he
Oh,
meant with regards to testosterone. If that's the case, I was on TRT when I got my wife pregnant.
yeah,
But
I was on 100 tests and a bunch of fertility shit with the first, like I said, and then after 3 months, my sperm analysis showed I barely went up, so I came off a test. My second, I was on 200 tests, and my third and fourth now, my twins coming. Soon I was on 750 test. I don't no fertility shit with the second and third and fourth.
so funny. Yeah, I
I
was on 250 tests when I used the HCG and it worked.
Yeah. All right. As a coach, are you able to tell early on who's going to be a successful client or not?
We've gotten that a couple of times. Yeah, usually. I mean, it doesn't, nothing is like boxes checked, right? Because there's plenty of different variables. But generally, out the gate, if somebody's executing well and they're changing pretty quickly, that's when it's like, all right, this person's likely going to be pretty easy to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I would say too, like there is both sides of the spectrum where like people have started really hot out the gate and then turned into not good
Definitely.
clients. And then there's
Totally.
been other individuals who started very slow out the gate, missed the first check-in, late the first couple, and then it's kind of like that conversation, and then they turn into all-stars. Because that's kind of they needed to be snapped into like hey, here is what the expectation is, and then but they still really want the goal. They just needed that first upfront kind of coachability moment, and so we've seen both sides. So um what do you feel like was a turning point where you became a better coach? I don't i don't know if there was like an exact turning point where I felt like more confident. I think it's just been more time and more experience.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And I would think it would
Yeah,
be
because
like
we're just
one
always
year after
learning.
the other.
Yeah, we're always learning, right? Always look back at preps and like what could we have done better or what worked really well.
Yep.
Like, like, hey, do my expectations need to be even higher than they already are?
Right.
Like, we're always reflecting on how we could be better at this, and those are the art things. These aren't like the sciencey things, really.
Right. Right.
Um, so yeah, good question.
Yeah. What was the most difficult prep that you've helped somebody get through?
Oof, I would have to really think about that, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's ever like I haven't really experienced a difficult prep where it's been like, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. But like definitely like throughout various preps you hit walls. And a lot of what makes I feel like good coaches is decision making and rational decision making of like when you push, when you pull, maybe this person needs to be pushed harder, maybe they need to be pulled back, or maybe you're being dug into the dirt too much, or when do you implement this or that, right? So I don't know that I've had like extremely difficult preps. It's just been more or less like, hey, we've hit a wall for a couple days to a week or two or a month, and then it's just like kind of decision making and rational making, rational decisions on getting through the humps, and then
Mm,
it's like smooth sailing. But that's totally normal. You know what I mean?
mm.
Like it happens.
Yeah. I have an answer for this actually, specifically. And I know he knows I talk about it, but Matt DeBice for sure with
Yeah.
his he's got rheumatoid arthritis. So his inflammation goes crazy. There'll be instances where like if I push him too hard, he'll gain like 5 pounds, right? And he'll be so watery because his
Yep.
inflammation is all the way up. On top of that, he was doing prep for like fucking months straight. He came to me from another coach, and like we ended up shifting gears on what show we were gonna do because like I needed more time. Not an optimal scenario, but he had a mission he wanted to accomplish, and I was gonna be there to help him do it, right? Dude, like I had to sit and analyze him so much and the different things that I had implemented that we had to try different dosages between things like glutathione, like just like the laundry list of different like variables that I had to monitor and adjust to is like just such a pain
Yep.
in the ass, you know what I mean? But got it down pretty quickly where it was like, I don't remember the exact equation. I'll have to look back at my notes, but it was like I'd feed him for 3 days and then and no cardio, and then I could push him for like 5 max. And then I'd have
Right.
to assess for a couple of days. Like it was interesting. So he was very challenging. Um, but it was fun. It made me a better coach for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got. What biggest coaching pet peeve? I actually got this 3 times today.
What coaching pet peeves?
Yep.
Like in terms of what other coaches do or clients do?
I just says biggest coaching pet peeves.
Um, I guess I don't know.
I
Just
mean,
this, I guess this could go across the board for anything. Just disrespect, right? Like whether
yeah,
you're another coach or you're like one of my clients, just like please don't disrespect me because like I promise you, I'm never going to disrespect you. Like I'm not going to go out of my way to be a fucking dick to you.
right.
I'm not. I don't have a malicious bone in my body, but like if you're going to be a dick to me, I will definitely be a dick to you back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say like in terms of like pet peeves, I don't know, like missing check-ins, not communicating, late check-ins, um, you know, like asking for like changes after a day or two where something's not working is like a big one. Not being like not putting all of the data on the check-in and then like 6 hours later to responding to the check-in and being like, well, I forgot this, and then it's like seven more things, you know. Um, nothing like too crazy though.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's like any career, there's going to be little annoying things, right? That you have to deal with. The stuff like it's the stuff we deal with is really not nothing
Yeah,
crazy, you know.
no, yeah. Um, Craziest coaching story, and that's why I said like earlier when we got on, I would say like it's probably the chick who competed and we had no idea.
Oh,
That
craziest
was
coaching
not, bro. That
story.
was
Okay.
crazy, you know. Um, but pretty much this lady, right? I'm not gonna mention any names, not even from around here, but this lady like came to me well over a year ago and like, had some eating disorders and such and was like extremely lean, scared to eat, right? I knew she had definitely a lot of dysfunction, like hormone, thyroid, all that good stuff. So like she delayed getting her blood work for a good like 5, 6 months, and I knew why. And then she finally got it done. She needed like a ton of HRT from like estrogen to progesterone to testosterone to thyroid meds, all this shit. Like that's how lean she was. It was crazy. She literally looked like she was a week out all the time. And she came to me doing like 4 hours of activity a day intentionally, like scared to eat. So like she stopped in the summer and then like came back in September. She's like, I want to do this show in March. I'm like, you're back to starving yourself. You're so lean. Like, it's just not a good idea. Like it's not a good idea to compete in 6, 7, 8 months, whatever. So like I guess the whole time she wasn't listening and like she posted a photo up like a week ago that she did a show and I'm like, wait, I messed her. I'm like, wait, you competed today? So like she said, yeah, and like I just cut her off. I'm like, listen, like I'm just not gonna deal with the disrespect and the lying. Like you're definitely not a ideal client. Sorry. And then she was like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go back to doing high rocks and CrossFit. I'm like, okay. But it was just
yeah, that's
crazy. Like,
crazy.
why are you checking in and paying a coach? Like, like
Yeah,
what the
I
fuck?
never heard of such a thing.
It's
So,
crazy.
but it doesn't like surprise me, man. People are just
No, you know what it was, dude? She wanted to just starve herself and stay that lean because she was scared to eat.
so.
It's very sad, but sometimes like people aren't ready for coaching if there's other deeper issues. Like you got to figure that stuff out, of course, first for your own mental health, physical health, right? Hormonal health, and then maybe you get into coaching. But maybe competing also wasn't the best idea for her. But that's definitely a crazy one.
Craziest coaching story? Does he need to be like crazy as in like a I can't believe this crazy or crazy like I don't know, we had a crazy outcome we weren't expecting or something like that. I don't know.
I probably crazy, like I did not see this shit coming. Crazy.
Hmm. Oh, I feel like I just fucking brush everything off. So like I don't know. I got extremely thick skin. I can't think of anything specifically.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Got a couple more here. What are good recovery variables you have clients track? Uh,
Three variables.
yeah, I would say like obviously their sleep, like how long they're sleeping, their quality of sleep, their stress levels, like with their training, like how their pumps are, how they feel recovery wise, like are they sore for 5 days, 2 days, whatever it may be. So I think those are like the big recovery variables. Also too, taking into consideration where their food is at the time, where their feedback is. Like if they're low food, like in a deficit in a cutting phase or prep, of course, you're going to expect your recovery to be somewhat compromised, but um, I would say that's pretty much what we would ask to track.
Yeah. Um, yeah, agreed. And that's where it's the most important is really staying on top of being honest with your coach on how you feel
Yep.
and prep. Like you're gonna trust me, there's gonna be points where it sucks, but there are definitely times where like I don't even discuss this with my coach because like I'm a mature enough athlete that I don't need to go ask my coach for permission to do something like this.
Yep.
But I know my body enough where like if I'm totally fucking wrecked in prep and I'm 4 weeks out, I'll pull I'll pull some volume from my training. I'll only do one top set on like a
Right.
big compound movement or, pull back on two, to one set for two of my different movements, something like that. I might deload for the day, or I might even take the day off from the gym if it's that bad. You know what I mean? Like I know that the benefit I'll yield from any of those are gonna far outweigh just pushing through it. You know what I mean? So um yeah, that's really important.
Yep. Um, and then the last question I have is about fasted cardio and like cardio timing. Do you guys use fasted cardio? If so, do you find it more useful than cardio at another time of the day? And what do you do if a client can't do fasted cardio? So yeah, especially in like prep or like trying to diet down, I prefer it. But the reality of it is that not everybody, depending on their job, their lifestyle, kids, whatever, are going to literally have extra time, whether it is a bike at home or a treadmill, or hey Joy, how you doing? Or going to the gym. They might not have that time, right? And it just is what it is. So at that point, I would tell them post workout, best next scenario, or just get that shit in when you can. Don't do it pre workout, but post workout or just at night, whatever it may be. But like the bottom line too is we do have to kind of draw that non negotiable of, okay, listen, I understand you can't do this fasted. That's fine. We can still get to that end goal of getting you prep ready and for a show, but you still need to get it done regardless. And if you can't, maybe it's just not the right time for you to prep, right? Like you can't just not skip all your freaking cardio. you know, Most people cannot do a prep and get away with no cardio. I don't, you know.
No, yeah, no, I don't even think I could do that.
No, it's just like you got to do it. So like you have to if it's something you want to do, you got to make sure that all the variables of where your current life is are managed, and like time management is of the crucial essence for those 6 months, and you got to get
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with everything Steve said, 100%. Well said. And my opinion on fasted, though, is if you have the opportunity to do it fasted, you don't have to change your schedule, all these things. I definitely encourage it and prefer it because there's definitely a benefit to it, right? There are more studies coming out now, and I'm not the guy that even needs to go and read fucking a bunch of studies to determine whether or not something has benefit or not, because I've done it myself and I've seen clients do it both ways and see how we benefit from it. I've definitely seen an increased rate of fat loss with it versus fed cardio. That being said, I think post workout is the better time to do it after your glycogen stores are all used up from
Yep.
training. So you are better utilizing that body fat to, fuel your cardio there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so that and like there is a lot of data out there around blood glucose regulation, insulin sensitivity when you do wake up and rip through whatever nutrients you have left in the system overnight. Yeah,
Yep.
I do think there's a big benefit to it. But again, like, I'm never going to ask somebody to wake up earlier. If you have a life routine and these are the set times that you're up and stuff, like,
Yep.
don't change that to get fasted cardio in. I'd rather
Right.
keep your good sleep good and not have to worry about anything else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because better sleep far outweighs the benefit from fasted cardio,
Yep.
in
Um.
my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I had one from like our last one that I forgot to ask, so I'll just throw it in as we wrap up. When does lifestyle coaching a lifestyle client become harder than a prep client?
I mean, when they don't,
Don't.
it's the ones that don't listen, don't check in,
Yep.
but when they feel like they want to give it a go, this is every single time, dude. When they decide that they really want to give it effort, they're nonstop up your ass, asking you a million questions, going on about the most like minutia little things, and it's like, dude, this is not how it works. Like, I'm not
Right.
here to be your motivation victim. Like, I'm here for your accountability and to guide you in the right direction. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's
Yeah. Yeah, I would say really it's like when people don't listen. I made a caption on like, I don't know, these two lifestyle guys I've been helping for quite a bit. And like they got through like pre-comps last year when they started and whatnot. Um and they we wanted to do a diet phase because they both like they don't know each other. They just like got like at the same time like the end of like where their peak was, and they were like gaining body fat for no reason. It was just the end of where their food should have been, and like they dieted down. And like these guys are like grown men, 40 some years old with kids, full-time careers. One has a side business, and like they didn't miss a fucking beat. And they're lifestyle clients. They don't even give a fuck about even ever being in a bodybuilding show to see it. You know what I mean? But like that's to my point. Like these dudes, like neither could do fasted cardio, but they both did it post. Actually, the one did it post. The one guy did his fucking Peloton bike for 30 minutes at night. But when his kids went, he put 3 kids to bed and then did it. So it's like where there's a will, there's a way. And like I watched fucking Matt turn pro training at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like it is what it is, right? So like if you are that busy to do something, like just don't do it, right? But
yeah.
like to the point, like
Pick a
it
different hobby. Yeah,
yeah,
just stay
exactly.
fit.
Right. And
Eric,
like
Eric, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
um but yeah, man, I mean, lifestyle coaching becomes harder than prep coaching when people just aren't listening, or when they're telling you they're listening and you know they're not listening. And like my point with those two guys in my caption, I put like, there's 99% of the time there is a direct correlation between somebody's progress and effort and their consistent effort. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna jump. Sam just got home with
that's
Tori.
all I
I'm
had.
gonna go to them, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
eat as well.
All right,
Hungry.
guys.
All right, I'll talk to you.
See you. Yeah. Dude, it's pouring here, bro.
All right, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go run.
Yeah,
I
bro.
don't